So one of the parts of poetics is mimesis.
Yeah, and we go so often, don't we, back to the root meaning of a word. Often we go to that. It's called etymology. We go back to the source to see how that word has evolved and developed to the way we use it, and lots of it returns back to ancient Greece and the Greek philosophers, like where the word poetics came from Aristotle. So mimesis is, I guess the easiest way to understand that is mimesis and mimetics is like mimicry, like copying. So mimesis is about the art of seeing, absorbing, resonating, and replicating. Um, it's mostly gestural, which is, of course, the foundation of all human learning of language. And so mimesis is mimetics, is an essential part of what it is to be a human. So taking on from personhood in the last video to now, what do humans do as they learn in the workplace? Often that's the very foundation of apprenticeships.
Yeah.
You put the beginner with the master mariner or the master carpenter, yes. And it's all about, now here's how you do the job, watch me do it. Now see if you can do it and I'll watch you. And so we refine our learning through mimesis. And it's very relational, it's very social, but you actually can't measure the process.
No,
You can't say to somebody, that in fact, if the master says to the apprentice, oh, you got 3 out of 10 for that, which is a subjective judgment, it's much better to say, look, you're holding the chisel at that angle. You can do that if you like, but that job will take an hour. If you hold your chisel at this angle, then you'll get a better result and it'll take 3 minutes. So there's a sense in which mimesis also involves reflection and guidance, and the ability to accept reflection and guidance.
This was something I wanted to touch on with you, because the master, how does he know that the apprentice has absorbed this knowledge? It has to be continual backwards and forwards.
Correct.
Yeah.
And there's a special way of knowing which is about comprehension. Have you comprehended something? Is not about regurgitating out your mouth or regurgitating data. Comprehension is when the master feels an affinity and an emotion with the apprentice, and then knows when they can leave them at risk and let them go, like riding a bike. So when I taught my grandchildren to ride bikes, you get to a stage where, yeah, they'll fall off, crash, skin their knee or hurt their elbow, but they're ready to go. And I've got to stop and pull back. Yep. That idea of stop and pulling back and allowing play and mistakes is a critical part of learning. We call it trial and error, but of course we can't have trial and error in risk and safety. We've got to have conformance, certainty, control and power. But mimesis is a critical part of that relational way of learning.
And nowhere in the safety curriculum is there anything about relationships, how to foster them, understanding and communicating.
There's none of that.
And yet it is central to just about everything that goes on in the workplace.
It's central to communication. You know, there's nothing in the risk, health, safety curriculum about listening.
No.
And the master with the apprentice doesn't just listen with ears. They listen with their heart and soul, and they feel that, okay, this person is ready. Now, how do they know that? They feel it. They don't assess it.
It's not a checklist.
No, because you can't do it with a checklist. So, you know, I don't care if you're learning tennis or soccer. I don't care. eventually, when the coach is working with the tennis player and they feel they're on the move, then they can move to the next thing to learn. Or then they'll go back to Mimetics and say, "Hey, so watch my swing." Or they'll take them to a video and say, "Let's have a look at the world's best tennis player, you know. Let's look at the world's best women tennis player, how she swings. Or let's look at her backhand. What did you see?" You know.
So, and that becomes embodied
Yes, it becomes embodied.
rather than rote learnt.
Well, eventually, to be a good sports person, you have to stop analysis and just enjoy the game. And the best teams that win and the best sports people that win leave analysis, leave assessment, leave performance, and move to enjoyment and embodied engagement, so the whole process is in their body. The best golf players, same thing. The moment they begin to analyse, they'll wreck their game, they'll lose their swing, they'll lose the game. And there's a degree in which that embodied personhood connects back to previous video. But there's a degree to which, again, if you don't get that knowledge of what personhood is right, then you keep going through thinking all learning is about brain cognition, and it's not. It's not. It's very much felt knowledge. It's very much about observation, feeling, and risk.
That's great. Let's leave that one there.
Okay.